Hello, welcome to the Wow YouTube channel. My name is David and I'm your host today. We're at the Patravadi School, Hua Hin, and we're talking with Krulek, who is the founder. She also has a history of involvement in the theatre and arts industry and for a long time.
This is the Wow Hua Hin channel.
Krulek, I'd like to ask about your early involvement in theatre and the arts. How did that interest develop when you were many years ago?
I think it's the environment influence, because when I was young, I lived on the Chapaya River in Bangkok, opposite the Grand Palace, and it's quite near the National Theatre. So my family took me all the time to the National Theatre to see Thai classical performances. Every year, my family took me here to Hua Hin and left me here with my nanny for the whole month, since I was 2 years. So every year I go to Hua Hin Temple. Almost every night, because Hua Hin Temple, they have Lige. Lige is like a Thai folk musical play.
Okay.
And because there's nothing to do at that time, so every night I watch Lige. And it was kind of my dream to be singing, dancing, and acting on stage. So in my high school too, in my high school, they teach a lot of Thai culture, dancing, Thai music, singing Thai classical music. So I was trained well in high school.
Do you remember your first public appearance?
Well, in school I always did that, performances every year for the school activities. And then I went to England at the age of 12. And the school I went to in England was the same. They have a lot of performances, elocution, drama, so on. But the most important thing that gave me the inspiration of I want to do this when I grow up was the first ballet that I saw in Thailand, produced by King Bhumibol, our ex-king Rama IX. He combined Thai classical dance with ballet, and he invited Pia Bameng to design the costume. So it had Thai elements and the tutu and the ballet, and it was so beautiful. And to me, it's like, oh, can you do that? Can you mix East and West? Can you mix everything together, like that? And that was my first inspiration, that I'm going to be doing this.
How did that develop into a career then?
Well, because of my early training in high school in Thailand and also in England. After high school in England, my mother sent me to America to study business administration, because our family, we do Chapaya Express boat, on the river, from the beginning, from my grandmother. And she wanted me to be a businesswoman. I did go to business administration classes for a while, for a semester, and I didn't go.
But the theatre was calling you.
I didn't go, but I always went to the activities of the university. So my advisor said, why don't you go to take drama or dance or whatever you like. I said, no, I can't do that, because in Thailand at that time, this kind of profession is not an honorable profession.
Okay.
So, but finally I realized, well, why not? Why don't be daring and do whatever my heart feels?
Yes.
So I luckily, my mother was very broad-minded. She said, okay, go. So I went to Pasadena Playhouse in Los Angeles, in Pasadena. And then after that, I said, maybe I wouldn't make it, because Thai movie industry is not, it's not honorable, and maybe my parents won't let me do it. So I took fashion design as well as acting. So at least I have something to do that I like. And I came back the first day. I got a job as a fashion a model. I also took modeling. I got a job as a model, and then I started my boutique in Siam Square.
Okay.
And it was a kind of very early stage of ready to wear clothing. At that time, you go to tailors to make your clothes, but I make a boutique for ready to wear. And a lot of young people, they like it because they see it and it's much cheaper than to have it made. So it was quite successful. And I did that for a while and have a lot of customers. And one of them was a producer on television. And she knew that I took acting, and so she asked me if I want to participate in her play. And at that time, the play on television were live, not taped. And I was performing for a while, and somebody called me on the phone, after the performance on television, where can I find you? And so next day, the director came and he gave me a script, and he asked me if I would like to be in his movie. And I won the Oscar, the award from that movie, my first one.
What was that movie? What was the name of that movie? Let's have a look.
Yeah, this is the one. This is a movie from my book. In English, it's No Heaven for You. It's a very dramatic film. But I was only 23 at that time. But I always perform as characters, on TV.
Okay.
So this role, I have to perform a 45 years old woman, very cold. I live in the forest.
There's a supernatural element to this, by the sounds of things, to this movie script.
I love being somebody else, not myself. So I did it, and people believed that it was a kind of a middle-aged woman because of the makeup and so on. I did my own clothing, I did my own makeup and hairstyling because I was trained for that. So that's how I started.
So this movie was very successful. You said that there was an award. There were awards associated with this?
Yes. In Thailand, we have an award. It's called the Golden Doll. It's similar to the Oscar in Hollywood.
Yes.
Yeah. And at that time, I was the last one who received the Oscar from the King.
Oh,
King Rama IX, from his hands. And then after that, no more.
Well, that's very hard to top on.
This is the Wow Hua Hin channel.
I'm aware that you established your own theatre in Bangkok as well. Can you tell me how that began, developed?
Well, I was trained in a theater, so after 13 movies, and I thought it's enough. So I went to television, producing, directing for television channel 3. And for 5 years, I got married to a Canadian ambassador, and he took me away from this country, and the first posting was New York. I thought I quit. I want to be a housewife, an ambassador's wife, And but every night, almost every night, we were invited to see shows, performances, opera, for free too. And we met a lot of directors and really great artists in New York. And one of them was a choreographer for Ain't Misbehavin'. The musical play, and he was director for Lena Horne on Broadway. And we just happened to meet we had very good conversation because he came to Thailand. He took Thai classical dance and he loved it, and I was a Thai classical dancer, so we danced together in many events in New York, so he said, I will teach you how to do a one-woman show like Lena Horne on Broadway, a musical. And I said, oh, wait, this is quite a great opportunity. So I worked with him for 3 months every day, 9 to 5, 9 to 5. And did the first concert in Thailand with light and sound and wireless microphone. At that time there was no wireless, and it's a song and dance and performance, 1 hour non-stop.
I think there was a picture or two.
There was
Perhaps
a
we can have a
picture.
look at of those times.
Yeah, this is a picture I took in New York. He taught me. He did my hairstyle. He kind of designed my hairstyle and rehearsed in New York. And this is the performance. At that time, there were no dancers in Thailand, so we have to import the 2 dancers from New York.
Okay.
And it was a Thai-style movement with jazz, dance, and also there were many songs, that Thai songs and Broadway songs that we did, and a Western song by Pointer Sister called Slow Hand.
Oh, yes, I know it.
And so I sang Slow Hand and I danced in the Thai classical manners with this kind of costume.
Oh.
And it was a big surprise to my people. And it was the first time that there's a thing like this in Thailand. And after this, a lot of people who were kind of backstage, people selling programs, young people, they love it. So I taught some of them, and the Grammy recording music started behind the stage of my concert.
So your theatre in Bangkok was presenting this sort of performance?
After this, I thought I should teach more people to do this kind of thing. So I opened a dance company with a little theater and kind of outdoor theater. And at first it was a small theater. This is a kind of thing that, this is a very famous pop music guy, and he was kind of my backstage at that point.
Okay.
I used the front of my office, and the office door and the trees around it and the parking lot make a theater. And it was a musical based on Thai literature. And also there's English translation. So lots of people came because they understood the play.
Okay.
And it was quite popular. So I have to expand the theater and make it larger. So the theater has roof, but still open air.
Okay.
Because I love the open air, because I'm very careful about breathing, about air, even before COVID-19 came. That's why we are quite safe here. Every place, even the house here, I open the window, the door, so the nice air comes in, as well as the air condition. In Bangkok, I have a school for acting, dancing, but here I don't want to train just actors, dancers. I want to give the knowledge of the art to everyone into any profession, because they should have creative thinking, they should have disciplines, they should have a knowledge of the art, whatever they're going to do.
This is the Wow Hua Hin channel.
So let's talk about what we have here at the Patravadi School. What's available to students and people who come here?
Well, this is a boarding school as well as day school. We have a lot of Hua Hin people as well as people from all over Thailand. It's not a big school. I don't want too many students because it's not easy to find good teachers in Hua Hin, who come and work like 12 hours a day, because we work hard.
You're very demanding by the sounds of things.
We work with the kids from 8 o'clock in the morning until 4:30 in the afternoon, but then after dinner we have clubs, we have activities. We train them whatever they like to be, like music, coding, computer, camera shooting, everything. To push them into area that they like, so they can continue to university.
So creativity is what you're trying to instill.
Yes. Yeah, but as well as in the daytime we learn the 8 subjects that is a Thai curriculum. But we have a lot, funny that we have a lot of foreigners here. English, totally English, and other nationalities who want to be in Thai school. Because we're not a normal Thai school, we are very creative Thai school. So they learn some subjects online with the schools in America, and they learn whatever they like here in my school, especially the arts, the culture. So it combines well, and the Thai students speak English to the foreign students, and the foreign students learn Thai with the Thai kids. So it's a kind of a very natural international school without having to be an international school.
There's also, the theatre itself is a major presence
Yes.
on this property.
Yes.
Can you describe what happens in that theatre, or what sort of productions?
Well, every year we make productions based on Thai literature with English translation. We speak English and Thai at the same time, so foreigners love to come, and we use the students with the professional people, really top professional theater people. Luckily, they were my students when they were young. Now they are really famous. So we work together. So the kids learn with the real top professional, and our musicals are really successful. Yeah, every year we make like this one is Prayer, which is a sister of Cherry.
Oh,
We did
yes.
rocking drama. We do a lot of Thai literature in more contemporary ways. And the kids learn lighting design, clothing design, backstage, acting, music, etc. We teach not just theater, we teach discipline, we teach English, we teach craftsmanship, we even teach video shooting, everything. The kids work with the real professional people that come to work with the theater.
Well, one of the perhaps unusual things of the Patravadi School is your skateboarding facility.
Yeah, that was one of our productions. I work with the street people, drug addicts and people in jail, young people. That was my part-time kind of thing. And I asked them, what do you like to play? And they said, skateboard. So I said, fine. So I bought them some skateboard, and finally I made a small skate rink in their kind of slum home. And it works because they don't have time to go and take drugs because they play skate. And I send teachers to make them really become good.
Yes, well, and it's a very professional.
So that's why I make a play here. So they come here and they have a real professional skate place. And after the play, because of the COVID-19, after the play, we're supposed to travel all around Thailand with these guys. But we couldn't. So some people ask, what can I play here? I said, fine, come in. It's an empty place. So the people have been coming. So I opened it for free since then.
Excellent. Do you have, what sort of plans are there for the future of Patravadi School?
Oh, well, the theater is we still work with kids in the theater. But we think that COVID is still here. That's why last year during the COVID lockdown, we worked on television production. So the kids, because we are boarding school, so the kids learn how to do productions on television. But I said, I don't want to go to television station because there's no freedom. Let's do it online. It's starting tonight. Yeah, the online production is really great production because a lot of my students they become very successful, and they came to help. Yeah,
if
they came to
someone wanted
teach.
to look at this online production, how would they find that?
It's in Patravadi channel. It's on Facebook page, but it's in Thai,
Of course.
but anyway, you will enjoy it. It's quite a good production, and it's talking about how to solve problems. It's more like talking like this, so people learn or exchange ideas about topics that's in the social now, young people, old people, how we live together.
Is there something different or important about Hua Hin that allows the development of theatre, the arts, and the sort of education that you're describing? What do you think is special about Hua Hin?
I grew up here. Hua Hin was a land of culture. I see a lot of cultural things, music, so on, in Hua Hin, from folk to jazz band. Since I was young, that's how I grew up. And the king was here. And King Rama VI, he has his palace in Cha'am. He has his theater there, and they were performing. So around this area, it's a cultural place.
So is there a future for that development in Hua
Yes,
Hin?
I want to make it still remain a cultural place. It's modern, but still, for young people who come here visiting, it's something eye-opening, something fun, not just lying on the beach. There are other things. And here is a hub of education. People can come and learn drumming, Thai music, Thai language. We open for anybody. Yes.
Well, thank you, Krulek, for your time and your enthusiasm. Is there anything you'd like to add just in conclusion from what we've been discussing?
Well, this place is my donation to the community. I'm working for the King Rama IX, to pay back whatever I have, benefit in my life back to the land. So this become a hub of education. People can come and learn things, people outside, they don't have to be students here, and learn many things. And we're connecting with the artists outside, we send people, we make introduction to people, to artists in Hua Hin, so that the whole place, not just here, become a hub of education for the art.
Thank you very much for that.
Thanks for watching the Wow Hua Hin channel. Do leave your comments or questions below and we'll get back to you. The Wow Hua Hin channel is produced by Surf 102.5 and Royal Coast Review in association with the Phoenix Group.